Hi, everyone. Good evening, good morning. Different countries, we have time difference. So thank you so much, guys, for coming to this channel. We really do appreciate. And would like to apologize for the time delay, guys. We had a few hiccups, technology. Our volume was not working. So finally, we managed to fix it. So I hope you can hear me all. And thank you so much for coming to my channel. And if you can't hear me, guys, let me know so that we can make sure you guys are able to hear me. Again, thank you so much for coming to this channel. So guys, today I've got very interesting people, visitors. I'm so excited. I've got two visitors that are engineers and either pursuing engineer. And guys, we need to hear from them. On this channel, we are here to encourage girls to pursue science and technology. We are here to showcase other role models who are pursuing science and technology. And we're also here to ensure that our girls, including boys, of course, that they are exposed to science and technology, and they get familiar to what's actually going on in the industry. So thank you so much, guys. So today I have Euphemia Chikungu. Let's bring her up, guys, so we can talk to her as a role model. Thank you so much, guys, for your patience. I really do appreciate. Hi, Euphemia Chikungulu. How are you? Thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited.
Thank you. How are you?
Thank you. I'm so excited to
Thank
see you.
you.
I've just
Thank
been trying to say, let me speak to her, but finally I do. So I know people are willing to find
Yeah.
out my visitors today. So tell me, introduce yourself, your name, and what are you doing today?
Okay. My name is Euphemia Chikungulu, and I'm pursuing my bachelor's degree in IT with software engineering at Zambia ICT College.
Wow, amazing. Guys, she is in STEM. How about that? We see very few women in science and technology, and most people think, some of the careers, women can't pursue them. And thank you so much, Euphemia, for that introduction. I really do appreciate.
Thank
I always
you.
wanted to
Thank
talk to
you.
her. We have to showcase other role models, of course, and to hear how they navigated STEM. How did they get there? So, Euphemia, I want to find out. If I want to take you maybe 5 years back, when you were 5 years old, I want to take you back when you were little. What's happening in your life? Are your parents talking about STEM? Are you hearing STEM from other people around you? What's going on? The reason I'm asking you about this is because as parents, we want to find out, also students, we want to find out exactly how did you go into STEM? What happened? So share with my viewers, how did you get into STEM?
Okay. So when I was growing up, I always wanted to be an accountant. So when it was time for me to enter college, my parents said they will
Yes,
support me in whichever decision I will make. Yeah.
yes,
So I actually changed. I don't know how it happened, but I lost interest in accounting.
yes,
So yeah, I came across STEM and then I found out more about what STEM is. So I
yes,
was specifically interested in the IT sector. Yeah,
yes,
so I applied to different institutions. I applied to CBU, UNZA, and Zambia ICT College, and I got accepted first at Zambia ICT College. Yeah, and here's how I found myself doing software engineering. I'm now in my second year.
wow. Oh, in the second year. Wow. Guys, she's in STEM. She's pursuing software engineering.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited for her. Her future is really going to be very, very bright. So you're telling me nobody, how did you choose software engineer? What interested you? How did you think about software engineer? Because there's so many careers around us. So how did you just pick software engineer? How did it resonate with you?
Um, I found a certain video interview on social media talking about IT, women in tech. Yeah. Even though some people underrate women to say, no, women can't do IT programs, women can't do this and that. I was like, okay, let me give it a try. Let me try to do this. Okay. So, yeah, that's how I got into software engineering. I had a lot of programs to pick from because we have a lot of programs under the IT sector. Yeah. So, my heart just went straight to software engineering. Yeah.
Wow, I like the fact that you saw a documentary or whatever that it was on social media. You know,
Yeah.
that's why, for example, on this platform, we are talking about science and technology. We are talking about um, how we can make awareness to parents, to
Yeah.
students out there who have never heard about it. And this is the platform we want to discuss, of course, interesting things about people in STEM,
Yeah.
even technology, because we never know what's going to resonate with someone there who would want to pursue science and technology. That's really
Yeah.
interesting. So, what
Yeah.
are some of your challenges being a woman that you have faced in this career ever since you started, or when you made a decision to start pursuing STEM?
Okay, some of the challenges that I have faced so far is the same thing where people underrate you as a woman. It
Yes,
when it comes to decision making, when it comes to making presentations or developing something, people will always underrate you because you're a woman. So I will give an example because we're only 5 girls in my class.
correct.
We have 40 boys and 5 girls. So at times you'll find that not every boy in our class is willing to work with you because you're a woman. They underrate you to say, oh no, they can't do this. Women can't code, women can't do that. But who knows what a man can do, I can do better. So yeah.
Wow. And when you say that, it's true because, for example, I always give this example when I was in college. You know, the most challenging part was the teaming up of when they say you need to form groups, the
Yeah.
teaming up part, because you find that the boys would go team themselves up. You know, they're already comfortable and they speak that
Yeah.
language. You know, let's team up, but you don't know, which group to go to, and you kind of have to convince them that I'll bring something to the table. So I always went
Yeah.
through that. That was really a challenge.
Hmm.
Wow, that's so interesting. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Euphemia, what would you say to a girl growing up out there who wants to pursue science and technology? Of course, when you say science and technology, engineering and mathematics, it can be IT, that's software, that's technology. It can be
Yeah.
mathematics. They could be teachers. They could be all sorts of career path that they want to take. So of course, for me, I would say I'm privileged because I'm here, for example, in the United States. But what about a girl living out there, for example? Let's talk about Chosi, somewhere, a girl who's passionate. How can she pursue STEM? What would you say to a girl like that?
Okay. So the first thing I would like to say is that do not underestimate yourself and don't do self regret. Don't self regret. Always do what your heart wants. Always do what you want, what your heart desires. Don't let anyone else tell you to say, no, you can't do this, no, you can't do that. And if you are in a very, okay, let's say some rural areas,
Yes.
if you have access to a smartphone or a laptop, please try to go online by all means. You can do free online courses. There's Allison, there's Udemy. There are a lot of applications there that offer free online courses. You can do any of the STEM courses that we have, whether it's science, technology, engineering, or mathematics. So just do it, just go for it.
Wow. Yes, that's really true. And I always advise, kids and mothers that right now, today, we have so many platforms that can help us pursue science and technology. Even when it comes to resources, we have YouTube. You know how
Yeah.
YouTube helped me a lot when I was at college. I'm
Hmm.
telling you, a lot of things came up from YouTube. if I want to know, to understand a math problem, somebody somehow solved it, even if it's not the right, the exact way, but at least I can tell the method. So,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
also, just to keep pushing. For example, I didn't go and do my engineering whilst I was in Zambia, but I still kept that passion. Even when I came here to United States, I still kept that passion that, I can be something, I can be an engineer. And I never forgot about that part of technology of me. So that means, it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what remote place you are in. You keep that fire burning at the back of your mind. Finally, you never know it. You never know when, I always say, popcorn starts popping out. You never know how your opportunities are going to come about, and also to
Yeah,
make sure you can express your interest around the people you are with, because it's very helpful for people to hear your passion, because you never know who may help you, who has for example, if you want to apply for a school, or this school is accepting women, or this school has a scholarship for women, so
yeah,
you can apply, but you have to speak your passion. But can you imagine if you're just there, you're not expressing your idea, you're just quiet by yourself? They also call it networking. How can you get to know your lack? How can you get to know maybe somebody who knows what you're looking for? So it's true, we need to keep
yeah,
looking for that information, keep looking for those resources, until finally, you don't know, you can finally hit God, and then maybe you find somebody who can help you, maybe even a sponsor.
yeah,
At here,
yeah,
Girls for STEM, here, that's one of our missions, to able to see kids who are really passionate about this subject, and how else can we tap into to help them. Wow.
yeah.
I really do appreciate Euphemia. Thank you so much. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. How do you pronounce it?
Euphemia.
Euphemia. So,
Yeah.
Euphemia, I'll give you a few minutes, whatever you want to say towards either Girls for STEM, or girls out there, or engineers out there, scientists, or young girls out there, or boys. So, feel free to say anything that you want to say, or anything you are doing to encourage girls to pursue science and technology.
Okay. I would love to encourage everyone out there. Say no matter what is happening, no matter what you're going through, always believe in yourself. Always push for better heights, and always put God first in everything that you're doing. Everything is possible. Your dreams will come through one day, and yeah, just keep the fire burning.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ufemi. I'm so glad you came to come and share your
Thank
STEM
you.
story. I really appreciate. And can we invite you again to come, so you can share with our viewers how you're pursuing navigating STEM?
Please do, please do. I will really
Oh,
appreciate it to do it.
thank you so much for having you. We really appreciate. So we have another visitor, so you can stay tuned. You can either go to the channel and watch from there, or you can stay within the studio, whatever you feel comfortable, as we continue speaking to one of our viewers as well. Thank you so much, Euphemia. We're
Okay.
going to call you again. Would like to hear how, what's happening in your space, how you are
Yeah,
pursuing, how you're navigating. And sometimes it's
yeah,
also good, because we have a lot of engineers, people here who also are employers, companies, things like that. So I think they also need to see that there are women like us who are pursuing science and
yeah.
technology, and we are
Mm,
also looking for internship. We are looking to be part of the world out there. So thank you so
okay.
much. I really do
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you, Femi. Wow, guys, that was really interesting. I was so glad to speak to Euphemia. I've been trying to make her come speak to us. We encourage girls to pursue science and technology, and to see also role models that are pursuing science, because it's difficult. Sometimes you just see maybe someone is an engineer. How did they get there? What are their challenges? How are they doing it? So it's really interesting that we understand that. So, guys, our next viewer, our next guest is Malenga Nonde. I'm so excited. Her too, I've been trying to, speak to her, but finally I hit God. So I'm so excited, guys. So I'll bring her up. Hi, Malenga. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for accepting my invitation. I really do appreciate. I was like, when is she gonna come? Let me try this time. Maybe she's going to come.
Yeah, I'm also happy that I'm here. It's a nice opportunity.
Wow,
I'm
no, I
happy.
really appreciate it. So, guys, let's dive into Malenga Nonde to find out what is she doing. She's in STEM. So let's find out. So, Malenga, what are you doing? Who are you?
Okay, so my full name is Malenga Nonde.
Yes,
I'm a microbiologist.
yes.
So I have a Bachelor of Science in microbiology. Love it so much. And I am currently working as a medical laboratory scientist at a hospital. So I also enjoy that. It's amazing. I'm currently rotating in the microbiology department, and that's where I'm working. But I'm still able to rotate anywhere else in the lab. So that includes phlebotomy, um, hematology, biochemistry, and things like that. So I am basically working at a hospital in the lab.
Wow, I'm so glad we have a scientist, guys. Guys, we bring doctors, we bring scientists, technologists, we bring engineers. Oh my God! Thank you so much, Mlenganonde, for coming to this show, and thank you for coming to come and share your STEM story with our viewers. I really do appreciate. So, Nonde, I'll take you back to where you were 5 years. I always ask this question to everyone. So, tell me, how did this being a scientist start? Where did you see your parents talking about it? Did you see maybe your neighbor? Did you see okay, how does that start? The reason we're trying to dig into this, it's how the curiosity comes to kids. So I'll take you when you were 5 years. I always ask this question because it's interesting, and I want people to know and to hear about what happens. So how did this being a scientist come? How did it happen?
Okay, so being a child, I think I was a curious little mind. I like to think of myself like that. So
Yes.
I wanted to be so many things, but one thing I knew I could not be was anything that had to do with social sciences. I just had a strong liking towards science. So that included geography, soil. I was just interested in how tiny things
Yes.
run the world, like microbiology and things like that. So for me, it was just interesting. Like, oh, there's science. There's this. So I don't know. I just found it interesting. Actually, my father was a computer scientist. So my
Okay.
father was a computer scientist, and he was into all those things. So technology was also something I would look at and say, oh, there's
Yes.
this, you know.
Yes.
So it was quite the journey. And when I finally had the chance to get to university, I didn't even take time. I just said I'm going into natural sciences. And even in high school, I participated heavily in JETs.
Okay.
Yes. So I guess
Oh,
just
so
curious mind.
when you were in high school, you participated in JET. Were you scared about the sciences? Because you know how people, I don't know who told people that science is hard, math is hard. You know what I always tell even my son, I convinced him, I can't believe
Uh-huh.
he's now in STEM because I told him, I said, math is not hard. All we're just looking for X. X
Yes.
start changing, we start having derivatives, we start
Mm-hmm.
integrating. So
Yes.
there is nothing we're doing. X oranges plus X oranges equals X oranges. We can even multiply that X, how many times that X comes. We can even now factorials. We can
Yes.
now, just make it crazy. So there is nothing that we are doing in math. all we're doing is looking for X, and what's happening to X starts changing, and that's all we do. So he's like, really? I said, yes. So I'm not sure who tells our kid, or who tell the women, the girls, that
Yeah.
math is hard, science is hard. So how did you get into science without having that preconception that math is hard or science is hard? How did you deal with that?
I'll actually tell you a story. I wasn't the best at math, but because I like to believe I'm a resilient person, I didn't give up.
Yes.
And I sure I did whatever I could to pass it. So when it came to STEM subjects, I just I just had a curious mind. I said, these are interesting things. Why not?
Yes.
Why not look into them? So when I was in primary school, math was a challenge, but I just said I'm going to do it. So I didn't have problems with anything else. But even as early as primary school, math was a challenge. But I think I thank God for my parents. They were very supportive, and I think parents do play a key role in that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't encourage me and tell me I'm smart, and I think that's what parents need to do to their children.
Yes.
Remind them that they are capable and they can. So when a child comes complaining saying, oh, there's this science subject I can't do, just tell them you can. And because of that, I think I fought my way through.
Yeah.
When I was in ninth grade, I was, drained in the math, but I was just told you are smart and you can. And of course, the fear was there because you know how people like to say, oh, sciences and what. But I just said, I'm going to do it. And when I was in high school, I was put in a pure STEM class, the one with pure sciences. And I said, oh, I'm going to do it. And it's going to go well.
Mm.
And I did it. And that's the best decision I ever made because I am so happy with everything. So
tell me about it. I am so happy. I'm a living testimony. I did also engineering, and guess what, Malenga, when I did my engineering, when I was already above, and that's why I say my fans now know how old I am. When I was above 40, that's when I did. Yes, that's when I did engineering. Can you imagine? So I just want to also appeal to people that what I realize is determination. I saw the classes, even math, because you have to go different level, another level, another level. I said, I'll go there, I'll do it. So I enter into the class. It's hard. I'm like, I will know you. What is X happening here? X is just doing
I'm
this.
going to find it.
I'm going to find you. If it starts integrating, I'm like, I'm with you, X. What are you doing here? Derivatives and all that. So that, I really like it when you say, I just put myself there, and even myself, it was determination. So when I realized that it's determination, I realized anyone can do it. Anyone. You put your foot there, and as things are coming, you get familiarized with them. In the end, you finally figured it out. So, but people are scared when they see a monster. They're like, monster, and they run away. No, you have to look at its eyes and see, why is it like this? So it's part of math. Wow, that was interesting. For your determination, and also just the decision of making the decision of you saying, I will do it. I will go in the pure sciences, so that the kids can hear that nothing is difficult, and whoever said math is difficult, no, it's not. Once you get there, you will know. Of course, you will have challenges, and I always tell people here that I did fail. I failed, but I said so many times, if somebody told you that all the engineers, all the scientists, they've never gotten a D in their class, that's not true. Of course, maybe there are people who went in completely, without having an issue. I'm like, okay, well and good for you. But especially as engineers, it's through our failures that's where we realize, well, we can't go this way. When we go this way, it's not working. For example, I work for space missions, and we have got projects. We figure it out. We figure this out. We try to figure it out. So that's how we, progress to the next level. Wow. Thank you so much, because it just resonates with me, the points that you're giving. So I'm like, oh my God. So okay, now you get into high school there, and then you go into the universities. What are some of the challenges that you experience? Could you share with my viewers? Because sometimes they think, we were of course talking about sometimes you would fail and you keep your determination, but particularly, what are some of the challenges that you had whilst you were pursuing as a scientist?
Well, as a scientist, I would say one of the challenges which I commonly faced was, I think, the first one is mentorship.
Yes.
So with STEM courses in my country, Zambia, we really lack STEM mentorship.
Yes.
So I was so determined, and I had all these dreams, but there was just no one to help me and to mentor. So even when I began my undergraduate, I wanted to do things a certain way, but there was really no one to encourage. And sometimes even the setbacks that you'd face from the very people who you're supposed to be helped by. So you'd find that sometimes the people teaching you wouldn't be very helpful. And you'd have nowhere to run to. But then the passion inside you is what forces you to continue, because you know to say, okay, I want, at the end of the day, I'm going to achieve this. And even just being able to look beyond what is around you, and you're going to say, okay, if that person did it, then I can do it. So looking beyond was very helpful. The other challenge that was faced was, I think, even the peers also, we don't, it's like, you know, people just would find themselves in a program, and then they don't really know how they got there. You know how the education system is. You just found yourself there and you don't know how you got there. So sometimes your peers should be discouraging. So if you don't have the passion, but
tell me about it.
As you keep going, and we did fail. I failed before.
Yes.
But my failure, I said, no, my failure will not define my passion for my science and how far I want to go in life. What matters is the resilience. And I really appreciate, because even at my current workplace, when I went in, I didn't know much, but I just said, I can learn.
Yes, I can learn.
And I did learn. And even when doing my undergraduate project for my thesis, I also faced challenges. And I remember that was one of the toughest things I ever did, because of the resistance from around. And I said, well, will I ever finish? But I just kept pushing, and God was kind enough, and here I am today. So the challenges are many, but I believe if we as a community can come together, speak about them, and see how best we can face these things, we're going to encourage more people in STEM programs and hope for a better future.
You know, when you talk about that, it resonates with me, because I always share this, because when they see someone, especially like us, we are role models to the kids, because that's what we want to be.
Yes.
Of course, in grade seven, I didn't do well. I failed. My sister found me. Yes, my sister, actually, you guys, you should check the video out. She's Francine. She's, I think, director of radiology in UK. That's where she is. She's my young sister. She's my baby sister. Look for her on one of the videos.
Okay.
So I failed grade 7. She found me in grade 7. I said, my sister is with me now. I cannot do this. I can't fail. So we passed to go to Form 1. Then we started going again, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, until grade 12. Then we went to Evelyn Horn. When we went to Evelyn Horn again, I failed. At Evelyn Horn, I was doing production management in STEM now. I'm in STEM by that time. So my sister finishes, I remain another year. So I want to encourage people that failure does not define who you are.
No.
And you will fail, you will have challenges. And, you know, you were mentioning, you know, some of the challenges that you had. It resonates with us. And sometimes if we don't discuss these challenges here on this platform, especially as women, that we have been through those challenges, I'm not ashamed to say that, because now I'm at a place where I can encourage someone. I'm an engineer. Now I can encourage someone that your failure at that time does not define who you are. So it's okay to fail, because that's when you realize that road is not the right road. then I can go the other way. It should not define you. And we have to keep talking about these things, because most kids, there are kids who have tried to pursue STEM and they retrieved and they stopped. They thought once that happens, and can you imagine the second voices from people around you? You know, it's terrible. For example, when I was at university in Los Angeles, I stumbled. I really stumbled. I didn't see anyone who looked like me who was pursuing manufacturing systems engineer. I never saw anyone. I liked the idea and the career, but I don't know. I don't see anyone. Can you imagine? And then that tormented me every day of my life. Will I make it? And if I finish, what am I gonna do? Who am I going to work? Where am I going? So that fear cropped me. And then when I think about those things today, I said, there's no way I have to talk about this. I have to make sure we can encourage girls, especially girls, because I was a girl, a minority, number one, and also few. There were times in the class that I was like, maybe we're just two of us. And so I learned how to team up with that especially African American, a person who looks like me, to team up. Yes, no matter how much it costed, even if I know I have an attitude or she has, but I know we are in this together to hold each other. And that's why on this platform we have to encourage each other and say, it doesn't matter how we all have got different characters, but as women, to team up, and that's the only way we're going to rise. Because I remember one of my professors when I was at college here, I was asking her why certain decisions in the government, they don't, allow certain things. I can't go so much in details. It was political science. And this professor told me that, Kirsten, if you don't get educated, and if you don't get educated and sit at the table there where they're making decisions, whatever you think want to change, it will be very difficult for it to change. So you have to get to that level where you can sit at the table and also start making decisions. And that's why we need to encourage women engineers. Let's team up. Let's see how can we talk about these things? How can we encourage each other? How can we throw a rope to someone out there who's wants to pursue STEM? And how can we pull them up? Despite of our differences, we are different. Sometimes in Bemba, I'm going to give an example. In Bemba, my mother used to say, "Pamenso ya muntu tapafuma mwaikudya." Very, very, very strong word. So when you see somebody, for example, you say, "Oh, hi," or you're saying good afternoon, and then you see they've made their face like, don't worry about that. My mother told me a lot, because some people just see gesture of someone, that's it. She didn't like me when I went into the room. She didn't like me. She looked like things like that. So we have to pass through some of the things. Sometimes you see someone making a face like that, you don't know where they're coming from. You don't know what they're going through. So as women, we have to a little bit give someone some slacks. Even if they had a certain face when you said hello, they didn't say hi to you. But try by all means, if you can, team up with that person, and that's what I did. I went to that African American. Now we are very good friends. Her name is Joshana Jones. If you see one of her videos, she also comes. She's an engineer. We all graduated and we are working. So she comes up here. You can watch her on the Women's Day. She created something simple for kids to make to make a light, a light bulb light. So you can check out the video and see how she did. All my viewers can go check that. So what I'm trying to say is we need to encourage each other. We need to make sure we can sit at the table. The only way we're gonna climb and sit at the table and pull our friends is for us to team up. Nobody goes on that ladder by herself. I always admire Mizinga Melu, she's there and she's pulling the rope. She's throwing the rope to someone to pull them up. Yeah. So anyway, I talk too much, Malenga.
No, it's amazing. We do need to talk about these things. It's crazy because earlier there was a STEM. We had the first All Africa STEM conference awareness. I think it's on my LinkedIn. I
Oh,
posted.
really? I'll check it out.
Yes. So a friend of mine actually, and I'm very glad that I've been lucky to have friends. You had her on this channel actually. Her name is Florence. You remember Florence?
Florence Malenga. Yes, yes,
Very good
yes.
friend of mine. Yes. So Florence,
Tell
I've
her
been
that she should come back again. Tell her. I've been telling her, I said I really want. Yeah, these are my photos. So please tell her. Please.
Yes, I'll let her know. So I've been lucky to have friends like Florence and my cousin, who's Florence's friend Stella. These are women who we've really been encouraging each other in the STEM field and in innovation and business and things like that. So when you say women pulling each other, I do understand that, and it's a very important thing that we should find groups where we're able to encourage each other and say, "Hey, you're doing this. Wow, that's good." Or, hey, how can we help each other do this, and how can we help encourage? And I think in the long run, that's my goal, to encourage girls to equally pursue STEM. So when I saw your channel, I was very happy, and I was like, wow, someone is doing this and this is great. So in the long run, I hope to be someone who encourages and says, hey, you can do this, and your mind is powerful. You can be anything. You might start small, and the other challenge I think that we have is we want to start from here. We want to be on top there, but it's baby steps. It's a ladder. You start as a technician, you learn the basics, and next thing you eventually end up in the research lab or the research field. And I really hope that's where I end up. So I've started where I've started, and I know that I'm moving. And that's one thing we need to encourage within ourselves, to say, hey, let's hold each other's hand. We're in this together.
Wow. Viva to that. Viva to that. So, wow. So, what really drives you? Because I see you are very passionate and excited about being a scientist. Oh my goodness. It's just amazing. So, what drives you really? Why are you so driven about this STEM?
I'm driven because I believe, one thing that I believe within myself is each one of us was put on this earth to create solutions.
Yes.
So I feel like
Yes,
I've been put in the STEM to create a solution. So what drives me is that I'm supposed to be of help to myself and as well as to the community. So I believe that I have knowledge imparted in me. I have the knowledge, I have the brain. So if I'm able to use the knowledge I can learn around and say, okay, there's the STEM, I'm learning this through science. Let me say the hospital, I'm at the lab and I know that this can do this, and how best can I help someone? So all those things come. What drives me is knowing that I'm part of the solution. Just being part of the solution is what drives me. I want to be part of the solution. So every day when I wake up and I'm at the hospital and maybe I need to culture something, and I know that when I culture this and I identify it and I do this, it's going to help a patient. It's going to help the doctor. It's going to, just that change, just being part of that solution for me is everything. So I guess being part of the solution would sum up what drives my passion for STEM.
Wow. That statement you've made, it will be a statement that I will never forget. And when you say that, it also evokes diversity. It's like in what you're saying, it's also like in engineering and also in technology. There is a feel of female touch that has been missing in the products that we make. If you speak to, there was an interview I had with Sela Kasepa, one of a very brilliant girl. She was at Harvard and now she works for Microsoft. I was talking to her last week. She talks about how, it's a touch that women that has been missing in the for a longest time. So as women, we bring this out, so much details that we contribute to whatever it may be. For example, how you're working, just how you work, how you couch that to find that solution. Some people can couch and they don't see anything, but you get that skill, that you do it. I do it quickly. I do it, whatever skill the way you do it. So same in manufacturing, in engineering, in the product. And remember, science and technology, engineering and mathematics, it's all around us.
Yes,
There are
yes,
videos that I've made that I talk about that. Just in the room, when you look where you are, we are talking on this internet. It's
technology.
technology. Trying to heal patients, to find out how they are doing. It's science and technology. It's daily things that we do. So we need to be part of those as women to make a change. As you are saying that, what drives you, it's that change. So that should drive everybody. When you see
Yes.
maybe new technology coming out, or new science is scientists that they're trying to find out. Some people specifically go to school when they see, oh, there is COVID. Some people make a
Yes.
decision just because of that. So it's very important that we encourage each other, the way we motivate ourselves, what really drives you. For example, if you asked me, what really drives me, is technology, to be part of the new technology that is being invented. I get mesmerized by it. Of course, planes, things have been going to space, but I get mesmerized by the cosmic outer space there. Every time there is something new, I just get excited. My eyes just blow up. When just the things that are coming up, the technology that's being used for things to go and deploy in space when they're being programmed just here on Earth. And for example, they sent the James Webb telescope, the biggest man-made ever telescope that they sent to space, like in sometime in December. This
Wow.
huge monster, it's heavy. Before it went, I went with my son and also his friends, because where I work, we created this monster. And we went to see it before it left. And I got into the room. Because I worked on it. You work on it somehow, somewhere, somehow you work on it. So I got into the room. Oh my God, I could not believe it. This thing is gonna go to space. I couldn't believe it. That just
Monster.
blows my mind. And
Yeah.
it's a mirror, huge mirror, lots of tons that it weighs. And then you think of it, how will it even be lifted? Of course, we know rockets lift, but it's just mesmerizing. And then now it's in space. It started deploying
Yeah.
exactly the way they programmed it. This is going to deploy first, then this part, then this part, and it has started taking pictures already in space.
Ah.
So that drives me, that just blows my mind every time. I don't know what my viewers out there, what would drive you about STEM. And then let's not forget the other part that drives STEM is the compensation part of it.
Ah.
The How they compensate you, it's well paid. That's the other thing, and that changes people around you, women around you, and women are mothers, kids. That changes a lot of things around women. Wow, we can go on talking and talking about STEM.
But
Wow.
beautiful field. It's amazing. I love it so much. I get excited too.
Wow. Yeah, I can see that passion.
Yeah.
So now, Malenga, same question I ask everybody. Me and you, we are privileged. We are working. We are in STEM. There are girls out there in the remote areas. Remote in Shangombo, Kazungula, here in United States, maybe in deep Mississippi, in
Yeah.
Arkansas there. Even here in California, we have some a remote place. What would you say to those girls growing out there? How can they pursue STEM?
So I think what I would say to those girls is having a vision is very important. And once you just stick to something, and I think that just going back a bit, the other challenge we have is sometimes they just don't see these things, so they
Yes,
don't know that a microbiologist exists, an
you
engineer
are
exists.
right. You are
So
right.
it would be nice if we went to them. I just hope with time we can start reaching out to them and showing them to say, hey, you can actually be this and you can be
Yes.
this. And once they see it, they start to envision it and say, oh, I can actually be an engineer. I can actually do this.
Yes.
It would be nice to them. So the first thing that we need to work on is going to them and saying, hey, you can be this. And then I'll just encourage them to say, your dreams are valid. I know this is a cliche statement, but for me, it kept me in check. Your dreams are valid. You can be anywhere. Your dreams are valid.
Yes.
One step at a time. If as long and seizing every opportunity, hey? So once an opportunity presents, seize it with all your might. Seizing opportunities and remembering that your dreams are valid. That's one thing I can just tell them. So work towards it. People do discourage. It's a fact. People would discourage you, say, engineering,
And you know what, if you're Njebele, one of the, why are you doing something that goes for all that long?
Yeah.
Why don't you just do something that is 6 months? I finished. And can you imagine somebody saying that? In that time, I didn't do well in a class. Can you imagine how I was so depressed? And then I questioned myself. I said, am I really, maybe I should stop. Yes, I went to a point.
Wow.
I said, well, maybe I should stop. I don't think I will be able to do this.
Yeah.
So people can throw venom. And that's why on this channel, we have to say that no matter how people want to present it, no matter how much someone want to discourage you, once you are in that class, it's because you are able to be in that class.
Yes.
That's the number one thing. So whether you fail, that should not determine that you cannot be in that class.
Yep.
You know? So there are so many discouragement that will come and go, wow. Wow, thank you so much, Malenga. So I'll give you 2 minutes again, 1 minute, whatever that may be. What would you want to say to on this platform, to my viewers, to women in engineering, to professional industry, to whatever comes up on your mind? What would you want to say? I'll give you the last word.
So what I would want to say is let's continue encouraging each other, especially as females. Let's continue holding each other's hand. And to us who've gone before some people, let's not look down on them. Let's hold their hand because we're all in this together. And what we want are solutions to the world's problems. So if we can all come together and encourage each other and pass down knowledge and be nice to each other, we're going to have so many innovations and so many solutions. And let's never stop learning. Never, never, never stop learning. Yeah, so that's what
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And my also last word is to say technology has evolved tremendously in the past 2-3 decades, and there will be a lot of positions and jobs in terms of scientists, technologists, engineering, mathematicians, software engineers. So kids, parents, I just want to say we are going to have jobs. So many jobs will be out there. Yeah.
True.
So thank you so much, guys. We've come to the end of the show. I know this was like almost an hour, but sometimes I hear people complain, why did it finish early yesterday? But guys, thank you so much for coming to this channel. And remember, we always bring engineering scientists, and here's a scientist that we have here.
Thank you.
To encourage, to showcase them so that you know that this is a career that is doable. Thank you so much, Malenga Nonde, and would love to have you again and to just come. Sometimes we do want to help, maybe even judge some kids out there, even remotely. Maybe if you could help us come and support one of these days, it would be really great, when they have projects and things like that. So we don't know maybe which country will be invited. Hopefully you can come and support us in that area.
I would be glad.
Thank you so much. So guys, bye everyone. Ciao, ciao. See you next week, guys. Thank you so much for coming to this channel.
All right.